Matamu tu.
Hello and welcome to the Matamu 2 podcast. This is episode 5. We are at the halfway point in Nitangwa Hump Day in the top of the hill. I have a guest today. Her name is Ami and it is short for Amina. Welcome to the podcast, Ami.
Asante sana.
Karibu. Now, I don't know how to begin introducing Ami because I've known her for it's almost a decade plus. A decade plus.
Don't tell people how old we are.
Accept your old age. Okay, no. Anyway. I met Ami when I was in university and we've been friends all along. And wow, like we were joking the other day when I asked her whether she was able to come and find where I am. That's when she reminded me that she actually came for a shoot here quite a while back.
Yeah, I think it's even that 10 years. Honestly,
it could be.
Yeah,
it actually could be.
Yeah, because I was a young girl. I'm sure if you look for those photos right now, you wouldn't even recognize me.
I have them. I don't delete photos.
And imagine during that period, I'm sure I must have thought, "Hey, I'm so fat. I'm so chubby." Guy.
Did you know?
Did I know?
So now, Ami, tell us what you do before I continue with the rest of the introduction.
Yo, that's a bit complicated, but do for work or just generally?
What you do generally. I mean, really, you're a woman of many hats.
Yes, I'm a talented and diverse individual.
Hey, Ebu, say that again so they can hear it.
I am a talented and diverse individual.
Yes.
I wear many hats in this Nairobi. I do development communications.
Nice.
Something similar to what you do.
Yes.
So comms in the development world literally means you wear many hats.
Yeah, you're a jack of all trades. You're literally doing everything that the boss tells you to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I currently started working with a philanthropy.
Oh, nice.
A donor.
Okay.
And there I do more than just communications. Which is amazing.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
You get to learn new things,
exactly.
be in new places.
And the cool thing is about being a comms person, and I'm sure you know this, and which is what we tell it's a lie that we tell people.
A big one.
That if you're a comms person, you can do just about everything.
Yes.
And you can work in every sector,
yes.
which I have. I've worked in health, I've worked in education, and I've worked in agriculture.
Oh, wow.
But I've never worked in adolescent sexual reproductive health, which is what I am currently doing right now.
Interesting.
So I dabble in advocacy in the SRHR space.
Hey.
And also maternal health and also water and sanitation.
That's huge.
And the last thing is what? Neglected tropical diseases. So it's a big portfolio.
So as you should open a haberdashery because you have so many hats. I'm so funny. Oh my God. Please.
Kill me now.
Give me an award. Give me an award.
Let me give you those hats. Let me give you those hats you're willingly giving me. That was a good one. Yeah, so that's what I do in a nutshell.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And aside from being a woman of many hats, Ami is a mother. She has is it not a 10 now?
Oh my God, she's turning 13.
Wow.
She is turning 13.
Okay.
She's in year 8. She's going to year 8.
Wow. So you have a 13-year-old and a 2-year-old.
Imagine that.
And a husband. So jumping straight into our topic for today, we're going to talk about sweet potatoes. Now, we spoke about waru. That's the normal Irish potato. We did that in episode 4.
I really like that episode.
Episode 3.
I did.
And it was a whole trip with Sherry. So if you've not listened to it, please go and listen to it right now. And while we're talking about potatoes, we did mention that sweet potatoes and Irish potatoes are actually not the same thing. Sweet potatoes and Irish potatoes are like second cousin twice removed or something like that. They're in the same family, the same genus of morning glory, right?
Yeah.
But they're like on opposite ends of the genus. And a distinct difference is that with sweet potatoes, you can actually eat the young leaves and the shoots. So you'll find that in the diets of cultures that have been growing sweet potatoes over the years, the leaves are actually used as a vegetable, and the shoots are also used as a vegetable.
Wait, are we talking about arrowroots?
No. Guashe.
I've never heard of anyone eating sweet potato.
Say it ain't so.
I've never what? I don't even know.
Say it ain't so.
Wait. the leaves of the sweet potato.
Okay, let's go into a bit of a class here.
Okay, please.
So, when the sweet potato vines are actually growing, the young leaves, the ones that are the tender ones, you can actually pick them out, boil them or fry them, and eat as mboga. And you'll find in Western Kenya, Nyanza, people who do plant sweet potatoes will actually use the leaves as mboga. So, like my mom loves. The only thing that lets her down is that there is, I'm going to call it a porcupine that comes and eats all those.
Specifically, those young.
Loves them. So she'll not get them as often as she would like to. And you see, you can't try that with normal potatoes because that's how you're going to die. Because they're poisonous. Potato leaves and shoots. They're actually poisonous. You can't eat them. So that's a key distinct difference between sweet potatoes and normal potatoes.
I have learned something new today, sir.
Yay!
Thank you very much.
Yay!
Thank you.
Now, locally, we are used to the red-skinned, white flesh potatoes, sweet potatoes. And there is the international, they call it some CIP,
International Potato Center.
Especially in Western Kenya, they have trialed, they've piloted orange flesh sweet potatoes. And you know a bit about this.
Yes, I do. Guys, I told you I have many hats.
Yeah. Anyway. Haberdashery. Quick fast.
So around 2012, I got a job with a project. It was a USAID funded project.
Yes.
Called the Kenya Horticulture Competitiveness Project. They were trying to improve incomes for smallholder farmers.
Yes.
During that period, in the West, just like you said, Western and Nyanza,
yes,
they were piloting this orange flesh sweet potato.
Yes.
So we as KCP at the time were going to farmers in that area and trying to convince them that there's so much more value to planting the orange flesh sweet potato than your kawaida ones because they could only get market in the market.
Yes.
But we were providing them with another market.
And a bigger, not just their local
vegetable
it was
markets. Domestic. Right? So the radical thing was this orange flesh sweet potato. OFSP. Tuseme tu tunaita OFSP from now.
Yes, please.
So they would sell, those people in Western would sell their potatoes
all the way to the mill in
Ukambani.
Wow.
And then they would mill it and bake it and do bread.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
That is so interesting.
It was amazing because then these people were realizing that they could benefit from the potatoes.
Yes.
Nyanza.
Yes.
And these other people were realizing that actually the bread was so much more tastier.
That is true.
Yeah.
When you're speaking about value addition, I did some work for a certain NGO that shall not be named out in Butere. There's this one person who, working with the Kenya Industrial Estates in Butere, had set up a whole bakery. So he takes it in, dries it, mills it, takes the flour, makes bread, mandazi, ngumu.
Yes.
And sells out because literally the moment he does a new batch, it goes out. And that's
because it was naturally sweet.
Yeah. And those things were fantastic.
It was it was amazing because then so the thing was we were connecting them so we're doing the project with AMREF as well.
Yes.
And so AMREF was training the people in that area, obviously behavior change communication,
of course, all those things.
So they were like about vitamin A and how
beta carotene.
Yeah, beta carotene and all that stuff. How the OFSP is so much better.
Yes.
Than it's yummier, it's sweeter.
Yes.
It's very good, like in value addition and all that stuff.
was it like maybe 10 years ago when we got some very interesting restaurants opening up here in Nairobi that we actually decided to get sweet potato fries. I remember that we had tried that here as a family because we do have a few sweet potatoes out back in our small shamba. And I remember we'd read about it in one of those, these books you read in primary school, and they're talking about very interesting things like sweet potato fries. So I was like, okay, let's try this thing. So we tried to, deep fry them. My God, they were so bad. It was so terrible. When a few restaurants opened up here in Nairobi, and I heard that they were selling sweet potato fries. I was like, hey, sweet potato fries!
The artisanal ones.
So, I was like, yeah, let's go and try these things out. So, every time I would go, like, yeah, give me the sweet potato fries. They're so underwhelming.
Yeah. Imagine I completely agree with you.
They're so underwhelming. Like, you'd put in your mind that taste of ngwashe and the crispiness of a fry, and then you bite into that thing, it's a soggy mess of just oil and no flavor, and it's just like...
Can I just say something that my husband said to me the other day? After I told
too.
him that I'm coming to do this podcast on sweet potatoes, then he asked me, what are you going to talk about? Because the potato is everything. Like, literally, the potato has spoiled it for the rest of us.
Yeah.
The potato has spoiled it for the rest of its brothers and sisters. If we sit here and talk about ngwashes and dumas, there'll be nothing. Like, when potato comes in,
it's just it
guys are like,
excuse
me. So as you're sitting there eating that sweet potato fry, the image in your head of a fry is not the same.
No, at all. Not
you
at all.
You have to remove that from your brain completely. And so this goes back to the conversation we had earlier.
Yes.
About the type of sweet potato.
Yes.
So obviously you can't do that with the orange flesh sweet potato.
You really can't. It'll
obviously, because it'll disintegrate or whatever it is that will happen to it. But again, the conversation that I had with you earlier was, does the potato itself make a difference? Because when you not fry, when you these purple potatoes, purple or red sweet potatoes that we know,
the ones to mezoea
here, what are white. When you boil them, they're supposed to be orange inside.
Yes.
I mean, maybe a
yellow
inside, and not a grey.
No.
Not a grey.
But the traditional ones were grey.
Were they? Are you talking about nduma or cassava?
No. Like actual sweet potatoes, like the traditional ones. Okay. We have, my grandmother had sweet potatoes when we were growing up, right? And these were like the proper traditional ones. They're tiny little things. They're at most is like half the size of your palm. And, she just scrub them, throw them in the water, and then you pick out a full sweet potato, break it in half. So when you break it, it has fibers running through it. Okay.
Yeah, I've seen those.
And when it's boiled, it doesn't go yellow. It stays whitish gray. In the traditional setup, ngwashes were always breakfast foods, right? Everybody would always pick up a ngwashe, and even till today, my mother in Kisii, if I'm going, I have to stop and get either pumpkins, butternuts, ngwashe, so that when we get there, that's what we'll have for breakfast. But the one thing that we all know ngwashe does is that if you get the wrong one, and I have to be very, very, very specific. If you get the wrong one.
You mean the white ones that we were just talking about?
The white ones with the fibers. My friend, I think will choke you.
Yeah. I was just waiting for you to say that. But it also depends, because on where you grew up, us guys never used to eat ngwashes in the morning.
Really? That is so fascinating. That is so fascinating, because like it's that whole choke me daddy vibe with ngwashes and domas is it feels like it's such a Kenyan thing.
It is.
Yeah, because everybody speaks about it. And the worst thing about it is that that's the point where now it's choking you. You have to get something to drink, and your chai or your uji is too hot.
Yeah.
So
first of all, let's just go back.
Yes.
Ngwashe with uji.
Please.
Are you trying to do like a, asubuhi ngwashe na uji, and then everyone laughs at you? Like, what's that? Because gosh.
Let me tell you, it is a power meal. Because you'll eat that, you'll go into the shamba, you'll work until 2 p.m., and then that's when you get hungry.
Hey, but those are problems I don't know.
It's called carb loading.
I am sorry.
Carb loading.
I am so sorry. Because okay, so honestly, I grew up in Nairobi.
Yes.
As most of us did. But my mom also grew up in Nairobi, and so did my grandmother.
So there was not that real tradition of ngwashes
in the morning. But my grandmother's mother was from Shags.
Okay.
And so she brought her Shags ways to Nairobi. So it's not like we didn't know about ngwashe or malenge or whatever.
It was there, but it wasn't that strong.
It was actually, for us, it was more malenge. Like malenge was like our choke me daddy, like, to be honest.
But now malenge, if you do it well, it won't choke you.
But how is well to your grandmother? They used to put the malenge hole in the jiko.
Yeah.
And then they would make you eat it the way it is.
No, it boils itself in.
No. But I grew up in a very Swahili home.
Okay, yeah, so vitumbua.
So those are the things we used to eat in the morning.
Breakfast.
But when my mom moved to her own home,
yes,
I don't know where she found the Kikuyu in her. Honestly,
in the depths, she looked for it.
So for me, growing up, going to the market with my mom was always that.
Interesting.
Going to get those ngwashes, ndumas, what.
Yes.
Saturday morning was always washing vegetables. You'd wash vegetables until you cry. Washing those vegetables, then you have to wash at the jiko, and then you have to put all those things on the jiko. When you remove ngwashe, you put nduma. When you remove nduma, you put all those, and then sitting there making sure that you've removed all the different kinds of the different kinds of greens that she's gotten.
And you separate them
and I'm like, listen. And then that's what we would eat for breakfast in our home, in my mom's home.
Okay. And then do you go into the shamba the whole day? What do you do? Because that's a lot of energy.
Now you go to work or you go to school.
That's a lot of energy.
Although we never used to eat sweet potato and uji. No. It was more sweet potato and tea.
Don't knock it until you try it, though. Don't knock it until you try it. It's one of those. It plays on the sweet sour. You know how sweet and sour pork, right? Like that's a thing. Or Hawaiian pizza. It's sweet sour.
Imagine it's choke me on choke me.
It's sweet sour.
It's like you're wearing a harness. You've been hung up on the roof like this. You're hanging literally, and someone is coming to choke you. As in, listen, I'm already here, choked.
And now talking about that, let's segue into something else. There's a mineral called manganese that is in sweet potatoes, and they contain about half of the daily amount you need per potato, right? Mm-hmm. Manganese is very crucial for bone growth, for metabolism, but it also helps you produce sex hormones that get you in the mood. So maybe that's why our people in the Western always have a lot of babies.
What? Tell me more.
Maybe that's why they have a lot of babies.
But are they eating these ones that choke them? Or are they eating the good ones?
Now, they've probably figured out how to not be choked all the time. So now I'm wondering, why did it take so long? Why did it take so long for us to figure this thing out? This thing called sweet potato flour. I
think one of the things that I would say was that we didn't know orange flesh sweet potatoes until these projects came along.
We knew that sweet potatoes were just sweet potatoes for boiling. We didn't even know that you can actually make like flour with them. And
exactly. Yeah. And that's why I even told you the story about earlier when we were going to talk to the farmers and asking them, okay, we are actually giving you these vines for free.
Yes.
We are coming here to help you to plant. We are coming here to help you to ensure that, there's capacity building and there's training and there's pesticides and there's all that support. Mm-hmm. Why are you refusing to plant these things? And they were like, listen, we can't eat them. Like when you put them on the jiko and you go and do your things and then come back, you can't eat them. So they don't make any sense. They don't make any sense to us. Yeah. Even just for consumption.
At all.
And so they were like, no, we're not going to do that. But then when you see them adding value
to it, yes.
Yeah, then you'll be like, okay, so maybe this makes sense and maybe I can use it for this and that. And then the sweetness it makes all the difference.
It does. I think those are the ones that they use in America. Because like the sweet potatoes in America.
Oh my God, please don't say sweet potato pie.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. because like it's a staple. It's a staple for Amy's just looking at up. It's like what's wrong? It's a staple for like Thanksgiving dinner. Like the sweet potato pie has to be there. And like if you're talking Southern cooking, you have to have sweet potatoes on the table. It's time for guest questions. Guest questions, and number one is, what is a ngwashe recipe that you'd love to try, but you haven't?
Sweet potato pie.
You'd love to try it.
To make it. No, that's not true. Well, yeah, actually, I was going to say sweet potato pie, but I feel like Americans just don't know what to do with stuff and then they just stick them in a pie.
More or less, or deep fried.
Or deep fried with cheese in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's American cuisine for you.
What's your favorite thing that goes along with ngwashe?
Oh, of course, black tea.
Interesting.
Black tea, strong black tea with some ginger.
Yes.
And not just that masala tea is joining actual ginger.
Like the roots.
With
the
sugar.
Roots. It won't be too sweet.
My nanny makes another one where I'm like, she knows her tea. It's just the right amount of ginger with some tea, with some black majani. Just over there in between.
Balancing it well.
Balancing. And then now you eat with the way I told you. Crisp it up a bit.
Yeah. Okay.
Add some pili pili.
Okay.
It's a sweet balance of sweet and sour.
And now when you say pili pili, now you're just like, woo!
Sweet, sour, chili, all up in your mouth.
Anyway, so what's been your go-to pandemic recipe?
So I have two.
Yes.
I make a mean loaf. Banana bread. Let me just call them breads.
Yes,
but in a loaf thingy.
They're quick breads.
So yes, quick breads. Those ones.
Yes.
I do blueberry and banana very well.
Wow.
Also, chicken wings.
Oh, yep. Interesting. Interesting.
And then you just play around with the flavor.
Okay. That sounds like fun.
The toppings. The sauces. Those ones.
Toppings? Sauces? Sour. All right. And that is the end of this episode of Matamu 2.
It was so short.
It was so long, but so short.
And here I was thinking that we're going to discuss how even sat properly.
Hey, now when you're getting comfortable.
Hey.
Imagine. Thank you so much for joining us, Amy. It's been a blast. This is the part where you get to tell us what you're doing.
Last year,
yes,
I did a campaign called Unmothering the Woman.
Yes, that thing was fantastic.
A lot of people tell me that after the fact. kindly engage with me when the campaign is ongoing. Go on the platform and say, good job, Ami. That would be nice. Please. See badai. So we did Unmothering the Woman. It was fantastic. It was amazing. The response was dope. Like, good. It wasn't like a congratulations, Ami, you've done a good job. It was more thank you for opening our eyes.
Yes.
Thank you for letting us tell our stories. Thank you for ensuring that our voices are heard.
Yes.
And so that was amazing.
Okay.
And now I'm hoping that there's going to be a second one.
Nice. Fantastic.
So I'm really pushing for it. Looking for funding everywhere. Do you have some money?
If I had, I would give you all the monies because it was so good. It was really good. And as you said, it really opened a lot of people's eyes on the realities of motherhood. Yeah. Because as an African culture, we've really been living motherhood for the mothers.
Yes.
And there's not been much going out about what motherhood means. And mothering the woman, my God, it was so good. That was amazing. And I'm going to put the links to the first set of videos. I'm going to put them in the show notes so that everybody can go there and watch. And as soon as the second set are up, I'm going to make sure that everybody gets to know them.
Yes.
Yay.
Please do that. And because I think it's important for us to know, because some of the work that I do revolves around women and girls.
Yes.
And I'm super passionate about making sure that all women and girls out there have every possible chance or every opportunity to be the best versions of themselves that they can be.
Yes.
And that includes ensuring that they get the best education, ensuring that they get the best possible openings at work, and having the best mental health spaces that they can to thrive.
Okay.
And we're not just surviving as women.
We have to thrive.
Between the fact that we are in the 25th year Beijing.
Yes.
And we're talking about generation. We're talking about gender equality right now. This whole year, we've been talking about gender equality. I feel like you, and I challenge you.
Me as Reumac.
You as Reumac, as a man.
Yes.
To ensure that, don't stay silent.
Yes.
Yeah? Because I know that's the behavior. And this is turning into a sermon. But I know that's the behavior that us, our Kenyan men have, where you see something happening
and you don't want to say anything about it because you don't want to rock the boat.
You can go behind. And this is the things that a lot of my male friends tell me. Like, I didn't like how that guy treated you, but you would go and tell that girl later. You'd be like, I'm really sorry about how that guy treated you.
Instead of actually calling it out.
Calling him out. Yes, call out the man. You'd be like, dude, do not do that.
Yes.
So that's one of the things that a few things that I'd like to leave you with. Ensure that this woman is thriving.
Yes.
Not only surviving.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the takeaway. For ensure this woman is thriving, not just surviving.
Not just surviving.
And that actually now is the end of the Matamu podcast. And episode 6 is going to be about chapati. It's my favorite. So please make sure you're going to listen to that one. I have a special guest and Ami knows him. And I'm not going to spoil. So please listen. Episode 6 is coming next. And for this one, have fun, guys. And we're going to leave you again with our clarion call. Make sure that woman is
thriving and not just surviving.
Thank you.